I'll just say this, man, and leave it here because there were some things I wanted to touch on, but a lot of stuff got lost in translation. I just think, look, it's detrimental to our community, especially the black community, when we push these agendas and we push these ideas that don't benefit us as a whole. Everyone's entitled to their individual opinion. You're entitled to your individual life, and I understand that Jr. doesn't want to create an echo chamber where other people's opinions are not valued, and I respect that because this is not my platform. At the end of the day, when you come here with an agenda or something that you would like to push that is detrimental and contrary to the survival of our people as a whole, if this persists, doesn't matter how you feel personally, if you look at it on a macro perspective, if these ideologies persist and are implemented over time, we are doomed. There's no way we could survive. And if you look at it in that aspect, we would understand that it's not conducive to subscribe to these ideologies. And I'm not just saying that because I want everyone to agree. I don't care if you agree or disagree. I'm just saying, if we're to use this platform to push your agendas, it's disingenuous, and I kind of hate that word. It's overused, but let's water it down and just say it's whack. It's not beneficial to our community for men and men to be together and for dudes to put on a dress and say they're a woman. It's not beneficial for our community to believe that women supersede men and can run the world and men be underneath the women. None of these ideologies benefit us. They don't benefit our boys. They don't benefit our girls. They don't benefit our mothers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, and they're a shame to our ancestors. And I'll just drop it there, man. And I don't feel no type of way about it because I get it's YouTube, it's entertainment. We want to entertain the people and have a platform and whatnot. But when you have a lot of and bad behavior that's being displayed, and this is what it is. So yeah, man, it's kind of whack, man. So if you have an agenda, one moment, I'm not done. So if you have an agenda, I just never understood the idea of people who oppose something and then they go over there with the people they oppose simply with the with the purpose of inserting their agenda with the people they oppose. It never made sense to me. Why don't you go to your community that accepts you and embraces you, and y'all are all a monolith and think alike, and then you'll have a great time over there and maintain there, and you'll be able to push your agenda as far as you want. It just never made sense to me at all.
Okay, great. So let me allow it to make sense for you. I don't know why you think that I'm trying to push an agenda, because that's why I feel like you're kind of trying to aim at me because I'm the only person here with a different perspective. But
You,
maybe
yes.
but maybe it's so weird how we like us as individuals feel like someone else's life choices acquires and requires our approval in the beginning. I get that you have your own opinions and you have your own way that you choose your life to live your life, but there are people out here who have been suppressed, and that's why it's so many DL men in the freaking dating pool giving black women HIV. So if we want to have the discussion, it's not about pushing agendas. It's about allowing people to be who they are and show up in this world without feeling like they need to be dead or they don't belong. Maybe if there was an open platform for black men to actually talk about sexuality and not be so afraid of it, like it's making someone less masculine because they've had an experience that they might not have liked, but tried it. I'm not going to sit up here and play these games with this whole pushing agenda thing. I'm talking about real freaking life.
That's
Okay.
exactly what you're doing. You just went
No,
on a
no, no, no.
monologue
That's
before I
not.
addressed
I'm
you,
speaking. I'm
pushing an
speaking. I'm
agenda.
speaking
That's
real
exactly what
life.
you're doing.
There's
You
people who have this
introduced three
experience.
things that
There
nobody
are
was
people that
talking
have
about
this
and made it a
experience,
part of the
including me.
conversation.
Okay. And as a black woman in society, I have a right to have a voice and talk about my experience. And no one gets to take that away from me. So it's not pushing an agenda. It's talking about real life experiences by real black people. I get that you guys think it's all about tradition, but sometimes tradition is the same shit that made people feel like they couldn't be their fucking selves. And they decided to do something different and hide and be a secret about it.
That's why they form communities that they can express themselves. And it makes no sense to go to the community that opposes that community and then try to express that community's sentiments in the opposing community. It's strange.
I was here
But
because I was
everyone
asked
on
to
the
be
panel, the other 9 people that are here,
I
I
was here
believe
because I was
we all
asked to
agree
be.
that,
I don't
ma'am,
need your
are
permission
you
to come.
done? I can mute out.
Maybe you should. Because I was
Are
asked to
you
be here.
finished? Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
not here because I'm forcing myself on anybody. I'm here because I was asked to be here to share my experience in my life. So I don't know why you think that you are more entitled than I am to share your experience, but that's not how this works.
I just want to
Again,
say I don't have a problem with the LGBTQ community. I don't have a problem with any of that. I just thought we were talking about husband and wife conversation. I don't know how we got to the LGBT conversation, but I was just basing everything off of like a husband and wife, but I have no problem with anyone choosing who they want to date or who they want to marry. I don't have any negative or ill will about that.
yeah, that was my assumption as well. As I stated in the beginning, that we all had, I guess, an agenda to disseminate information that caused more black men and black women to come together in a state of marriage, and men and women in general to improve relationships, but black men and black women in particular. So that's why I question the insertion of the agenda, because it does nothing to perpetuate the overall goal. It causes confusion, convolution, and it inserts ambiguity into the situation. It just muddies the waters a bit. So that's why I continue to question it, and I will question it until I die. I don't have a disclaimer for the rainbow folk. There's no disclaimer coming from me. I don't believe it's good for our community. I'm not against anyone's individual decisions. That's up to you. But as a whole, for our community, I don't see how it benefits us.
It's not supposed to benefit you because you don't live that experience. So I think that people need to stop feeling like they're in any position to judge somebody and how they choose to live their life, or feel like they have some type of entitlement to speak on platforms and panels because they feel like their own one experience is the whole experience for Black people. But that's not the case. There are people who are in the Black community that identify as something other than straight. So when we're talking about relationships in general on this platform, and we're not specifying marriage or not, we were talking about two people dating in a hierarchy within society between men and women. Well, now we look at gender differently. So I'm speaking in terms of someone who sees it differently. And I don't think it needs to be any type. I'm not freaking Hitler. You're sitting up here talking about trying to push some agenda. No, I'm not pushing any agenda. I'm speaking real life experiences of people who are from where I'm from in my community as a Black person. So you need to get out of yourself a little bit.
I think
Addressing
we're gonna try to get over to the
let's
next
say this.
topic.
Hold on one second, Trev. Let's do this. Did I not clarify at the beginning of this panel with JR personally what we were talking about, what the parameters were, and who we were talking about? Did I not do that?
For yourself.
And wait a minute, ma'am. No disrespect to you. To the rest of the panel, did I not do that? And was he not clear on who we were speaking about?
So you
men and women in the capacity of being married and being in relationship with one another. Is that correct? Or am I wrong?
Not just your opinion. There's other people who have a different opinion.
Marcus, can you unmute and let me know if I'm wrong?
Yeah, he said that.
Correct.
Okay.
Parameters. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The people that agree with us, in order to reach the other people, you have to allow their perspective to be spoken about. Then those people can come in and view it. And if they hear something that they could take away from our perspective, then it pushes the envelope of thought within them that can hopefully get to the desired result that you want. Because I agree, it needs to be men and women families in order for us to exist and flourish, right? But the people who don't, to Callie's point earlier, she was saying, how do we operate if that's not been your life experience? If you've been in, like, for instance, a single mother home, and you've never had a man in the house, and you're just unclear on that, so unclear that you wouldn't even seek it out. In that scenario, you would need somebody who's thought like you to be represented on the panel, so your thought process you can look at it. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm just asking where the other stuff came from. That was that's what I was confused about. We were talking about men and women. We know there are modern women who don't agree with tradition. That's cool. I just was confused as why the other agendas were introduced. What did that have to do with what we were talking about? So I asked for clarification. I got it. And now it's being framed as something else when we already killed that in the beginning.
No, you did. I wasn't framing.
No, not you, bro. The young lady, not you.
What agenda is there? I'm confused.
If so, I think he was speaking in reference to
what is the next topic, because this is not.
Yeah, I think we should move on. Jump, hit the super chats, Marcus.